What is up, everybody? I'm your average gamer, and in this episode, you will finally see me beat Sekiro. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, I just recently started playing this game, probably less than 2 weeks ago, and I really want you guys to watch my first video compared to where I'm at now, because it is nothing but major improvement, and that's what happens when you actually enjoy something, you know? You put the time into it and you get better. I did really enjoy this game, no matter how much hatred I spewed from my former episodes. It is a fun game, and I do plan on playing it again, especially when you get all these cool upgrades and moves and stuff like that. I was intrigued, and I almost wanted to start the, was it, like Run 2? It's like Part 2 or whatever. It's like, you get to continue from the beginning of the story with all your new moves. I wanted to do that, but I didn't even have all the moves, nor did I fight the Demon of Hatred. And that's one of those bosses where I know I'm gonna be stuck on that thing for a while. I'm actually recording this commentary post video because I was recording this video so late at night, or I guess early in the morning. It was like 1:32, 3 o'clock in the morning, and my girlfriend was sleeping. So I didn't want to sit there constantly talking, yelling, or crying about how bad I am at this game sometimes. The only times I really get frustrated in this game is when I'm trying to beat it. So, I mean, I guess that's like a very common thing, but there's multiple times where if I know that it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I'll sit there for a while not expecting much. Like, I don't care if I die. I'll just try to sit there and remember the moveset and be like, okay, I can attack here, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm actually trying to beat it and I've spent so much time trying to just get better and I can't, then it gets a little frustrating. I think last episode or the one before that is where you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, where I'm fighting the shaman warrior, or the shaman monk, I don't know what he's called, and he just kept blasting me with this one laser beam. And I sat there using so much confetti and so much sugar trying to defeat him, I was getting frustrated. All that frustration, though, just comes because I'm so devoted to just games in general. You know, I don't want to just play a game and just have a casual time all the time. And what I mean by that is, like, I can play any game and I'll always have fun doing it, but if I really enjoy something like this, I feel like I have to get better to make my experience better. You know, like, I want to look smoother. I don't want to be hit constantly. I would like to fight some battles flawlessly. And that's where the frustration can start building up. You know, because here you are, you have this goal, and there's just sometimes you just can't do it. I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know, but there's been so many times where I'm just fighting an enemy, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then it's just like 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts later, it's like the same move keeps getting me. That's, oh God, man, that frustrates me. So I'm about to end up fighting this boss that I thought was going to take me days just based off of how he looks, the sheer size of him. I was like, dog, there's no way I'm going to be able to beat this guy. And then it's more of a puzzle than an actual fight, and it's really the first time that you kind of get that in this game, because with every boss you come across, you have to just figure it out. You know, they're not going to hold your hand. You got to figure it out. And that's when I was a little worried at first, and then I saw what you had to do, and I was like, dude, thank God. You even hear me make a remark about it later. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not fighting that. That was epic as fuck. Well, now. What do I do? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I'm cutting its eye out? Oh, hell no. Gracious gift of tears. I did all that for a tear? Thank God that fight was. They could have made that fight just be the hardest thing in From Software history, but they're like, yeah, we're gonna just tone it down a bit. Thank you. It didn't have to be that easy, but I appreciate it.
Lord Ishin, what happened?
Lord Ishin has succumbed to his illness and passed away.
Oh no.
I see.
I'm sure you sensed it. The Central Forces have taken this opportunity to attack the castle.
And the divine heir?
Here.
So as you guys can see, we had gotten the Secret's Passage key, which I figured was going to be like the lead up to the end of the game. It was. I wanted to go back and fight just some of the bosses that didn't really give me a hard time, but I barely got by, and I was like, dude, I know I could do this better. The Decrepit Monk is one of them. Granted, this fight isn't flawless or nothing. It was way better than my first attempt, and I do plan on, again, just revisiting all of them again. There's this gauntlet challenge that I feel like I want to do, but I don't know if I'm good enough to complete it. We'll see. One thing that's really strange about this game is as you fight the bosses over and over and over again, yeah, you're getting better because you're memorizing the movesets and timings of things, but it always feels pretty good. Like the rhythm they have, you just pairing weapons or attacks or whatever, it feels so good. Or when you do the what's it called, the stomp, right? The Mariki stop or whatever. I botched that name so hard. Don't even tell me. Okay, so when you do that counter, right, and it's just the same animation, but you're like, ah, dude, it just feels good to do it. I don't know how to explain it. You know, like on the surface, it's like, oh, he's doing the same moves, but yeah, it's also up to you on how you kind of want to chain those attacks together, whether it's your attacks or their attacks, because you can do some really cool dodges in this game. Okay. I can definitely do it, for sure. Like, 2000%. So out of all the stressful encounters I had, these two right here definitely took the cake. Because there was, as you heard, I was like, oh, I can definitely do it. That's not how I felt an hour into it. It was an actual hour. It's like I would defeat one but not the other, and then I ended up kind of cheesing it, I will not lie. Apparently one of them ended up falling off the map, which allowed me to execute the spear guy, and I just fought him one-on-one. That's not as challenging. They know what they're doing. By adding these two, there's certain attacks that you have to dodge or jump, and then with them swinging together, if you dodge, one's going to hit you because you can't dodge, and then if you jump, one's going to hit you because you're not allowed to jump. You see, so it sucks. Okay, these guys were just really, really giving it to me. I was so irritated. Oh my god. I'm dead. Oh my god, bro. This is impossible. You guys have no idea the stuff that I removed from this video. I was like actually raging. I was screaming. I was like, I don't want to fucking do this. I'm just gonna run away. And then I was like, I don't want to be a fucking pussy and run away. I want to fight these guys. And dude, I was going through it. I was going through it. And again, it's one of those things where I sat here trying to practice and do it, but I felt like it wasn't really me. It was more of the fight itself. Like I said, there are certain attacks I literally just couldn't dodge, or you mess up one timing and you're dead because they do so much damage, and it's like, the worst part is there was like twice where I was able to get rid of the samurai sword guy and just only fight the spear guy, but the spear guy would just do his thrust and I mistimed my circle, and he just kebabbed me. Boom, dead. And I was just sat there like, no. Like, how could I mess up so bad? But that's exactly what this game is. You just try and try and try again until you finally get it.
Behold, the second mortal blade.
Genichiro.
You think you can change Ashina's fate with such a thing? You are mistaken. Wolf. No one has the right to the dragon's heritage. It is no one's to bear. I wish there was another way.
It's all right. One last time.
Restore Ashina to glory.
So for anyone wondering, this fight right here took me way less time than I thought it was going to. Probably just under an hour. I fought him one time, and I got to the second stage, died, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a break, probably make it for a separate video, because I was like, dude, this is going to be really, really hard. But again, I went in there with the mindset, like, okay, how do I learn his moves better? You know, I want to sit there and just practice. So there's multiple times where I didn't even swing that much. You know, I'd get them into their next stage and just constantly practice that stage until I figured something out. You know, you'll see in when I'm fighting Ishin, where when he sheathes his sword, you'll see me just run away. And there's multiple times where it's like, dude, I want to counter it. I want to be good. But I was like, nah, I'm going to run away and hit him because it's working and it's very, very effective. I'm going to keep doing it until I beat him. Ironically, like I just said, I went in here with the mindset of not really focusing on beating him, but trying to just remember the moves. And I ended up beating him. You see, so it's like, again, none of this is really, really clean because my whole goal was to get better in the future to make it really clean. But at the same time, I did want to beat it. So I saw my opportunity and I took it. You know, like I was like, dude, I'm not letting this slip. You can always refight them in the memories, you know, and stuff like that. Go through the gauntlet. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, especially now that I have all the prosthetic tools. I unfortunately don't have all the upgrades at the moment. They're kind of a grind to get all the upgrades, but I think I'm going to end up doing it. We'll see. One thing that I'm pretty sure I will end up doing is playing this entire story again, but choosing the different option. The option that I chose was to help the Divine Heir. Now I'm going to choose to just not break the Iron Code, because to help the Divine Heir you have to break this Iron Code, which then immediately you then fight your father, the Owl. So I want to see what happens if you pick the other outcome. You know, it's pretty interesting. Plus there's a lot of things that I know that I miss, whether they're in shops or whatever it is, that I do want to revisit. So again, I'm looking forward to doing all of that. Something I know that I have to work on is using the items that From Software gives you. And they're a little unique sometimes, maybe not for the people that are devoted to From Software games, but there's many times where I didn't even want to use Divine Confetti because if you die, you lose it, right? I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Like, there's no save to get it back or nothing. Like, if you have 5 total and you use one and you die, now you have 4. And then you have 3, and you 2, and you 1. And for example, that's why the Shaman Warrior was kind of stressing me out, is because I was out here using all my sugars and all my Divine Confetti, and I'm just dying from this one guy. So I want to get better using this stuff, right? But I also like that you don't necessarily have to. Like, I got by just using the bare minimum. I only used the Ground Seed, you know, and nothing else. There's very, very minimal times that I use items in this game. It is pretty stupid to not use items, you know, but again, like I said, sometimes it can be overwhelming to a casual player. Like, okay, I don't want to use this because I don't want to. I have 10 of them, and then if this guy keeps killing me, then I won't have any left, you know. And then you go do a future encounter, and it's like, oh, you need it now. I'm not sure if that's how the game was gonna play out, so I just ended up just saving everything. So after playing the super slow cat and mouse game, I finally get him into his last stage. Now something that I want to point out is I went back and practiced the Genichiro fight where you first learn to do the lightning reversal. And I think that if I never went back and practiced that fight, that I wouldn't be as decent as I am. I'm not even going to say that I'm good, you know, but the fact anybody that beats this game is good there, right? So like, you know, because again, this game isn't super easy. But the one thing that I do want to point out though is that it felt nice to be rewarded for practicing something, you know, because I went in there with the mindset of, oh, I just want to practice this reversal because it looks cool and it might come in handy in the future, and it did, and it paid off. Now my whole goal was to get this guy into his last stage because I knew once I got him into his last stage that he would just keep doing the lightning thing, and that I just kind of had to avoid every other attack and wait for it, because as soon as you do, it does so much damage, so much posture damage, and then you can just complete the fight that way. It might be a little cheesy to do it, but I don't know, it felt so good to get it done. Again, like I said, I do plan to come back and revisit all of them with all my new moves, and especially spirit emblems, because I never have spirit emblems. It's like I have a bunch at one point, and then I just start experimenting, doing a bunch of stupid shit, and it's just, it is what it is. So I want a bunch of spirit emblems to the point where I don't have to worry about spending them. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed these fights. I got a couple more coming up for you. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. That'd mean a ton. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.
I am at your side. Take the dragon tears.
My sworn shinobi. Now. Sever these ties of immortality.
I think it is best that you have this. No doubt, the day will come when a shinobi arrives seeking strength